This last week, since 8:10 on Shabbat Zachor morning and Shabbat until today, Thursday, in my lifetime, I have never felt more proud to be a Jew. Also, as I've often said over the last 28 months, never more pained. Pained, not only with the loss of our son, and he's taken captive on October 7th, Simchat Torah, the loss of 1,250 innocent people, butchered and murdered in ways that we all know, the most horrific day of death and destruction since the Shoah, and continuing from Be'eri to Bondi, so much suffering of our people, over 1,000 civilians in Israel, over 1,000 soldiers, and continue until today. We indeed hope and pray that this will end and things will be very, very different. But this last week, we know also, there's also with this pain, so much pride. The pride to know that every single one of the last 255 hostages, every last hostage is returned from Gaza, seemingly unimaginable a year ago. And now, who would have believed Israel, the regional superpower, together with the United States, finally doing everything it can to rid the world of the only country in the world which has stood up at the United Nations and said, we are building a nuclear bomb to destroy one country, and that country is Israel. The same country which is the largest global sponsor of terror, which responsible for the Argentinian massacre of the Amia, the Jewish community, 32 years ago, killing 85 people and injuring 300, sponsoring terror across the Western world, causing so much death and destruction. There probably would not have been an October 7th, if not for Iran and her ring of terror, that she remains the largest sponsor of terrorism, global terrorism, the world over. So to be part of a people fighting with the world's great superpower, part of the free world, to rid the world of such evil is indeed a tremendously proud and privileged moment. But I want to share with you one of the greatest insights from this week's parasha and from the Megillah, which to me highlights what it means to be a Jew and why it is we are part of such an incredible people. I've never felt more pained, as I've said, but more proud and privileged to be part of the Jewish people. Look what leaders we have, and look at their belief in Netzach Yisrael, in the eternity of the Jewish people in our mission. Look at this week's parsha, the greatest comment ever of self-sacrifice by a leader for a people. Moses says when God tells him the Jewish people have sinned with the golden calf, their time is over, I'm going to make a great people from you. After all, it was God who forced Moses to reluctantly lead the people. He didn't want to lead the people. They were so troublesome, so argumentative, so rebellious, and yet Moses led them, and finally now they have sinned, done terrible sins when he's been up to give the Torah. And now God says, I will rid you of these people and make you the lone patriarch and founder of a new people. It's time to start afresh. And what does Moses do? What does Moshe Rabbeinu do? In the single act of Mesirat Nefesh, no greater act in all of Tanakh, he says, if you blot them out and destroy them, mecheni na misifrecha, you blot me out. I will give up everything according to the Chizkuni. I will give up my life in this world and prepare to die for them. According to the Sforna, I will give up my olam haba. I will give up everything that I have, all of my zchuyot that they should live. Because Moshe Rabbeinu understood that Jewish life was not about him and him being the founder of a people. It was about the Jewish people. It was about being part and parcel of the Jewish people, seeing your destiny and fate as part of theirs. The Jewish people were bigger than Moshe Rabbeinu. He was prepared to blot himself out and nullify himself for something much bigger than him. And I want to share with you in conclusion the incredible message that Mordechai shares with us. Totally, seemingly irrational and the opposite of what you would have thought. And it only became clear to me a number of years ago. You see, at the most critical moment when we know in chapter 4, where now the decree has gone out, has been stamped by the king, Va'in Nashiv, there's no way back. Mordechai implores Esther. He says, Esther, now's your time. Go and speak to the king. Reveal that you're a Jew. You're the only one who can stop the murder which is going to happen of all the Jews on one day all across 127 countries. And of course, Esther says to him, I can't. Unfortunately, we've got bad luck. I haven't been called to the king for 30 days. And everybody knows, if you haven't been called to the king for 30 days, achata tola amit, you're going to get killed. There's no way I can do it. There's no way. It's impossible. Then he says the most incredible thing. He says famously, Al tadami b'nafshech, don't think for a minute that you can hide from God and the Jewish people in the king's palace if you remain quiet at this time and listen to what he says. I would have thought, if I was standing there, I would have said to Esther, Esther, if you remain quiet, what will be of the Jewish people? Who can save them? God has placed you and only you as the queen. Most serendipitously, you're the only one who can do it. And if you won't do it, what will be of the Jewish people? Stand up and assume your place. Otherwise, it'll be the end of the Jewish people. And he says exactly the opposite, incredibly. He says, if you don't get up, if you don't get up and do what you need to do, he says, God will save the Jewish people. Don't worry about the Jewish people. I feel like saying to Mordechai, how? What's your plan B? There's no plan B. If not for Esther, who can save them? What can you? The only person in the world who can save them is Esther. What is your plan B? And look at Mordechai's belief. He says, no, I know that the Jewish people put on this earth for a much bigger mission. It's much bigger than me. It's much bigger than you. They will be saved. My worry is, will you be saved? He says, you will get lost into Jewish destiny. You will become a footnote in Jewish history. I'm worried about you. You need to assume your place amongst the leadership of the Jewish people. The Jewish people will be okay. What unbelievable belief did Mordechai have in the eternality of the Jewish people, Netzach Yisrael, that Moshe Rabbeinu had, how proud we are to be part of a people, eternal people, fighting the battles not only for ourselves, but to rid the world of so much evil. And with all the pain that has come with Jewish history, what a privilege it is to be part of such a people, fighting the battles of Hashem, ensuring that our people and everything we stand for is much bigger than any leader, much bigger than the great Moshe Rabbeinu, much bigger than Mordechai. We are part of a people, bigger in some ways than life itself, placed on the earth, on this world, to have a divine mission for good and for God, to rid the world of so much evil, that a regime can get up and kill tens of thousands of its own in darkness of 48 hours of switching off the internet, and can aim to disrupt the entire world and the entire region. To be part and parcel of history with all the pain is such a privilege. And may God bless the soldiers of the IDF, may He bless the soldiers of the United States of America, and all those fighting for the free world. Should be good for all of our citizens and civilians, and indeed a new day and dawn should be for the Persian Iranian people to join the free world as part of a new era of life and liberty. Shabbat Shalom.